It is Tuesday, May 13th. It's time to get in the weeds. I'm Jeremy Lambert. That is SP3, coming off of Monday's WWE Raw, coming off of more basketball that I'm sure SP3 and I will talk about because we have 2 3-1 series. Some surprising, at least in one case, 3-1 series. What else happened yesterday, SP3?
There was that.
Yeah, that's actually,
the Timberwolves beat the Warriors.
No. Will's got it. The NBA draft lottery is rigged.
Oh my God.
Rigged.
It is. Yo, that's insane. So you're telling me, this is a message to, all the Bulls fans out there. So you're telling me that the Bulls lost Cooper Fagg on a coin flip and Josh Giddey making that half-court heave against the Los Angeles Lakers. If he doesn't make that half-court heave, that 97% of the time is a miss, they would have gotten the first pick.
So I don't like doing they lost the coin flip if this happened, because then you're butterfly effect affecting, right? Like, because if Giddey misses that shot, then there's no proof that everything would still fall into the same place, right?
Hey, I love the butterfly effect. That's one of my most underrated movies that I ever saw. Ashton Kutcher's best acting job of his career.
Fair.
And Bullethead from Steve Harvey Show.
So I don't fully like doing that because I don't think it plays out the same way if that's the way it happens. Here's what we know how things played out. The Dallas Mavericks traded a generational player, a beloved generational player, had a 1.8% chance to win the lottery, and somehow won the lottery. They traded him to the Lakers, the Los Angeles Lakers. I know you're a Lakers fan, SB3. They traded him to if not the first, the second most storied franchise in all of the NBA, a franchise who, for all intents and purpose, was riding a line of mediocrity. They got LeBron James. They were doing pretty well, but even you thought they were like, 6th seed at best? You thought they were maybe even a play-in team before this trade. They were riding the line of mediocrity. And they somehow get gifted a generational player for Anthony Davis. Not even draft picks, not even young talent, for an injury-prone big man. They get gifted this guy. All of a sudden, ratings shoot up. Interest shoots up. Oh, now we can talk about the Lakers even more, because not only do they have LeBron, they got Luka. We can all talk about everything's got to be based around the Lakers now. And we get to the draft lottery. 1.8% chance, and they win it. No, this was a
sounds legitimate to me. I don't know about you.
This was a backroom deal. Adam Silver made the call. He said, if you trade Luka to the Lakers, we'll make sure you get that number 1 overall pick. And that's exactly what happened.
Well, how is Nico Harrison supposed to know that Kyrie Irving was going to get injured and out for the rest of the season? Like, I understand Anthony Davis. That's one thing. But if you still have Kyrie on the court for without...
It's still not that good.
AD eventually came back. There's no way that he could have predicted that, they were going to be a lottery team. I think
you could have easily predicted they were going to be a lottery team.
We're being a little bit presumptuous. I think that he had all the intent for the Dallas Mavericks to at least be in the play. I still had them in the playoffs when they made the trade for AD. I still had them. AD and Kyrie. That's a playoff team.
You could have easily predicted they were not going to make the playoffs.
You didn't predict that?
I don't remember what I predicted.
You did not predict them not making the playoffs.
I don't think I predicted them to make the playoffs or not make the playoffs after that trade. I think I just said that was a stupid trade. Everyone should be fired and the organization should be regulated after all of this. They were in a bad position, and we all figured Anthony Davis was going to get hurt. No, you couldn't predict Kyrie was going to get hurt, but Kyrie with that team, look where they were at. They were at where they were at because Luka was out, and so it was just Kyrie and them. And where were they?
And they were still in a play-in position,
right? Which is where they finished, a play-in position, and then they didn't make the playoffs, which would have made them a lottery team.
I think we're being a little bit presumptuous here. I don't see how this is rigged at all. I don't see how it's rigged at all.
As a Lakers fan, how are you not more upset at this? I understand because you got Luka. I understand like you're not upset about this. But as a Lakers fan, how are you not more upset that the Mavericks and the Spurs got the top 2 picks? Are you kidding? Like the West just became that much tougher for everybody. Yeah. For everybody. Yeah. The Utah Jazz weren't going anywhere. You could give them and fine. Like let them have them. Who else? The Hornets. The Hornets need somebody like this. All these other trash teams are bad on purpose, and then they pin their hopes on the lottery, and then the lottery they lose, and so they can never get better. That's why all these teams are still so bad. That's why they're all so awful. The Dallas Mavericks, the San Antonio Spurs, and the Philadelphia 76ers are the top 3 picks. The Mavs were in the finals a year ago. The Spurs have a generational player already. Yeah. And the Sixers needed everything to go wrong for them this year. And look, everything might go wrong for them next year. They're the Philadelphia 76ers. You know how that goes.
Yeah, this tends to happen to them.
But they put 3 teams in bigger markets with bigger fan bases, with bigger visibility in the top 3 compared to Utah, who doesn't have anything, Charlotte, who doesn't have anything, Washington, who doesn't have anything. All these teams legitimately suck, and they're not going to get better. But 3 teams who are already pretty good or already on the come up in the case of the Spurs are getting better.
Hey, I call it as I see it, and I call it like the Infinity War. A soul for a soul. You gotta sometimes take these sacrifices, and these teams got to get better for us to improve our standing in life.
You know why you're not upset? Let me tell you how you're feeling, in the words of Tito Ortiz. Is because you are used to failing with incompetent management. Because that's what the Lakers have done for the longest time. They were incompetent after Kobe left. Completely incompetent. And what happened? LeBron James decided he wanted to care more about his movie career. So he signed in LA. It's like, oh, now all of a sudden the Lakers are good again. And we got these high draft picks. Lonzo, okay. Brandon Ingram, okay. Julius Randle, okay. These kids, you missed the playoffs your first year with LeBron. What happens? Oh, Anthony Davis decides he only wants to go one place, Los Angeles. So you can trade all these people and get Anthony Davis. And then you win a title with a good team surrounding him. And then what happens? You trade all the good pieces, the pieces that work around LeBron James, and you trade them for Russell Westbrook, who doesn't fit with that team. And then you got to trade Russell Westbrook. So you get D'Angelo Russell. It doesn't work. What do you do for 3 years? For 3 years, what do you do with this team, SP3? Not get a center. You don't get a center, even though the time you won the title, you had 2 centers on the team. But you don't get a center. And what happens? You luck into Luka Doncic because Nico Harrison is somehow more incompetent than Rob Pelinka. You are used to incompetent management failing upwards. And that's why you are not upset that Nico Harrison, who is more incompetent than the Los Angeles Lakers, has failed upwards.
How you telling me how I feel? How you telling me how I feel? Rob Pelinka put together a championship team. Yes, he made some mistakes along the way, like you documented very well, very eloquently here. But he's made some great moves, like this trade for Luka Doncic, and
This
now our
trade
future
was
is
not
set.
a.
This was a great move.
Yes, it was.
This was Rob Pelinka being like, these are not the droids that you want. He was Obi-Wan Kenobi. He basically Jedi mind tricked Nico Harrison, and Nico Harrison. If you want to talk about failing upward, Nico Harrison has failed upward. Not Rob Pelinka. How disrespectful are you to Rob Pelinka?
I said Nico Harrison failed upwards. I did say that.
But we're
Rob Pelinka also did as well.
Why are we disrespecting Rob Pelinka, the former agent of Kobe Bean Bryant? Just because LeBron James wants to go get Russell Westbrook? Because the NBA decided to start a new season 8 weeks after we won an NBA championship? Like, people want to talk about, Mickey Mouse title in 2020 and stuff. The Mickey Mouse title is the 2021 title because it was only 2 months, less than 2 months after we won a championship. We were handicapped from the start. How disrespectful are you?
Very disrespectful.
That's ridiculous.
I'm very disrespectful to teams failing upwards. Because that's what happened. That's what happened with the Lakers, and that's what happened with the Mavericks. They failed upwards.
Lakers don't fail upwards. 17 championships. We don't fail upwards. We win. We are winners. We've won in every single decade of the last, since the 80s. What are we talking about? I expect this from people like Knicks fans. I don't expect it from someone who's going to be a winner this year. You're going to be a winner.
Did I say their entire history? I laid out the timeline of when they started failing upwards.
After Kobe left. We were failing, but we were pretty much failing the last couple of years Kobe got, because Kobe was getting hurt. So you even fucked up the timeline. Yes, we're past the 5-minute mark, so I can curse. Like, this is ridiculous.
They failed upwards. The Dallas Mavericks failed upwards.
Lakers failed upwards. The most storied franchise in NBA history. It failed upwards. All right.
From Kobe Bryant on.
I'll let y'all have it.
From Kobe Bryant on. Yes, I did. Leave a thumbs up on the video. That helps us out.
I don't know. How did this become about the Lakers? Why is it always F me? Why is it always F the Lakers? Why are the Lakers always the villain here? Nico Harrison. Nico Harrison just got the #1 pick after making one of the dumbest trades in NBA history, but it's fuck the Lakers. This is how the chat is in on it. You're in on it. This is ridiculous. I'm up here cheering for the Oklahoma City Thunder. I'm up here like, the Oklahoma City Thunder gonna win the champion this year. Not because, it is one, because they have the deepest seed, because they have the best defense, they have one of the best offenses, they have one of the best players in the league, they got a whole great supporting cast, but also another reason why I picked the Oklahoma City Thunder to win the championship this year is because I want to see my friend happy. I want to see my friend with a smile on his face. But what does he do when someone else benefits from being stupid? Oh, it's fuck the Lakers. Fuck the Lakers. And then all you
because they benefited from the stupidity, SP3. They benefited from the stupidity.
All you sheep in the chat just want to follow along with Jeremy. Oh yeah, Jeremy's right. Yeah, the Lakers failed upward. Oh, la 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 la. Oh, la blah blah blah. Sheep. You're all a bunch of sheep. That's why you root for losers. You don't know what it's like to be a winner. We were all for the Lakers when we were losing, but when we become winners, you don't know how to relate to that. You don't know how to relate to that. When we became winners, you went against us. But you know what I'm gonna be as a Laker fan? You think our Laker fans are selfish? I am. You think our Laker fans are conceited? I am. You think our Laker fans are cutthroat? I am.
First off, if you really cared about my happiness, you would not pick the Thunder because I can't be happy when they win. I'm only miserable when they lose. I'm always miserable. There is no winning. There's misery and pre-misery. That's all there is. There's no happiness around these parts.
Misery and pre-misery.
Yeah.
That's quite the way to live. That's quite the way to live. Oh, and people would say, "Oh, the Lakers are out of the playoffs right now." Guess what? I've seen more championships from my team than any of y'all seen from your team. I don't give a fuck. I will live off the memories of the 2000s. I will live off the memories of 2009 and 2010. I will live off the memories of 2020. I've seen my team win a whole hell of a lot more than all of your teams combined, pretty much.
I mean, not if they're like Warriors or Spurs fans. I've seen a lot of championships.
I mean, if they're Warriors fan, I still seen more championships from my Lakers.
Yeah, but like recently.
If they're Spurs fans, I still see more champions. I'm talking about in my lifetime. In my lifetime, I've seen the Lakers win more than all those teams you just mentioned.
Jules is a Celtics fan.
I've seen, unless he's a 60-year-old Celtics fan, I've seen more championships for my team than he. Okay. Pretty sure Jules Jules, unless you're 60 years old, which I don't think you are, I've seen more championships from my team in my lifetime than you've seen in yours.
Don't live off the past, SP3. Don't live off the past. Live for today.
Happiness. You gotta sustain. You gotta reach for happiness, and you gotta hold on to it as tight as you can.
Live for today, SP3. Live for today.
No, never that.
Is Myron Reed a basketball fan? We're not going to ask him any wrestling questions. We're just going to talk hoops with Myron Reed.
That's the first question. Who's your NBA team?
Let me do some research on Myron Reed. Myron Reed's scheduled to join us at 11 o'clock. By the way, the young GOAT Myron Reed, he just returned to MLW this past week. He at MLW Azteca Lucha. So we're going to be talking to him about his return to MLW and everything else he's got going on in the world of wrestling. I'm trying to see if he's like tweeted about basketball. We'll get a scoop here. We'll get a scoop if he's a basketball fan. No, there you go. We do have wrestling to talk about. Allegedly. Like, you know. Allegedly. Who could really care? Who could possibly care about wrestling? I am legitimately all jokes aside, all trolling you in some ways aside. I am annoyed that two Western Conference teams are just going to get better. Like, you got to be.
Yeah, like, that does kind of suck.
Like, take away everything. Like, the Mavericks were already a good team who could have been a playoff team this year if Kyrie Irving doesn't get hurt. I know he's going to miss most of next year anyway, but now they're going to add Cooper Flag to an already good team. The Spurs already have a generational player. They have the reigning rookie of the year, and now they're going to add a top player at second. Like, really? We need the West to get better. The East, you have teams that win like 30 games making the playoffs. You're going to have like a 50-win team in the West that's going to miss the playoffs because all these other teams are so good. Insane. Absolutely insane. You can't throw the East some type of bone. Really? 30-win teams are going to make the playoffs. SP3. A 30-win team. Nonsense. Absolutely nonsense. I think, Matthew, it's very exaggerated OKC's like future. Like, they got a lot of first round picks on paper. Doesn't mean shit. It doesn't. Like, we had the Sixers first round pick this year, but it was top 10 or top 7 protected, and they ended up at number 3. So it conveys to next year And then the Sixers probably aren't going to be, it's top 4 protected next year. The Sixers, assuming Embiid's healthy, assuming Paul, look, this is a lot of assumptions, by the way. Embiid's never been healthy.
Yeah.
Paul George hasn't been healthy for a while. They're going to get the 3rd overall pick, though. Tyrese Maxey is still really good. And Jared McCain's, he had a good year until he got hurt as well. Like, they're not going to be as bad as they were this year. So that pick could easily land between 25, and I don't think they'll be quite that good, but it could easily land between, let's say, 22 and 15, which is like fine, but that's not like a lottery pick like it would have been this year. The other picks they have some Dallas picks that they're a little bit down the line, but now Dallas, which it was looking good because, Kyrie and AD, where are they going to be in 2-3 years? That's a good pick. But now it's like, okay, well, now they're going to have Cooper Flag. That's probably not going to be that great of a pick. I think it's a little exaggerated. The Miami picks are good. The Miami picks, that team sucks. So hopefully they continue to suck. But that team, or those picks might be okay. But I think it's a little exaggerated of, they have all these first round picks. You need a lot to go right. And OKC hasn't exactly they've had some stuff go right in the draft, but it's mainly just been they've had incompetence go right in the draft. It's not because like they've gotten lucky with anything. They got the 2 pick for Chet, which was a good break. The other time was they got Durant, which that was mainly just Portland screwed up taking Odin more than anything. So I'm not super sold on like, they have a great future because they have all of these picks. Like, I don't know.
You have a great future. I know you want to be miserable, but I will
misery and pre-misery.
I will be the person, like I've been this whole year, to be in support of Oklahoma City. So when they win the championship, I'll be the only one celebrating.
I don't know if I'm gonna celebrate, but like, I'm miserable to be around. I'm so miserable to be around these past few days and few weeks. Like, I'm just absolutely miserable. Game 5's tonight. I'm gonna be a wreck all day, and then if we win, the only thing I'm gonna be thinking about is like, but we still blew games 1 and 3. Like, we could have, the series could have been over, but we blew those games. Now we gotta win. We gotta win game 6, because if we get to a game 7, we're gonna lose game 7 because my teams don't win game 7. They just don't. I'm gonna put this on record, on the air right now, so it's out there for everyone. And when I am correct, I will look like a genius. The Nuggets win game 7 on a Russell Westbrook game winner. That is how this
That would be poetic justice. That would be poetic justice.
That's not poetic justice. That's called heartbreak. SP3. That's called heartbreak.
Poetic justice. I mean, Russell Westbrook, you're the greatest Thunder player of all time.
Russell Westbrook. We didn't wrong him.
But he's the greatest Thunder player of all time. So it is appropriate if he is the one to shoot y'all out of it after the regular season that you got. Yeah.
It's called heartbreak because that is all I know when it comes to sports is heartbreak. What is the most heartbreaking way my team can lose? I've already experienced it once this postseason. I will see it once again because that's the only thing that can happen is heartbreak. Everyone remember this comment a few days from now when OKC loses in game 7. Remember what I said. Remember my words.
Won't.
Everybody.
They won't.
Remember.
And no, I'm not cheering for other teams. I'm cheering for me to be right. People understand. The one thing that I get almost as much joy as the Lakers winning is being right about who's going to win the NBA championship. And right now, out of the two of us, I'm looking a little bit more right than Jeremy is from the beginning of the season.
I'm pretty dead in the water. I don't think Boston's coming back, especially with Tatum hurt. Like,
Nah,
There's
not with
no
Tatum
way.
hurt. It's pretty much over. I knew it was over. I turned off the game when the Knicks went up by 7 with 3.5 to go. I was like, yeah, this game's over. I was like, I just saw the way Boston was playing. They weren't getting any really good stops. They weren't executing on offense too well. So I just turned the game off because I was like, oh, this one's over. And I didn't even see Tatum get hurt at the end. I was just like, when I saw the final score and heard that Tatum got hurt, I was like, yeah, it's over. It's a wrap. Knicks are going to the conference finals.
Yeah, it's rough. It's rough for the Celtics. I did pick them. I thought they would be the first back-to-back champions since the Warriors, and it doesn't look good. But this is what happens when you blow 2 20-point leads. I mean, don't blow 2 20-point leads in game 1 and 2, and you'd be a little bit in a better position. The Knicks are tough, man.
11-point lead at half. Yeah, last night. So
yeah, like 11-point lead is honestly like an 11-point lead is not safe. I don't think anything like 15 or less doesn't feel very safe. Yeah. Honestly, with 20-point lead, you should be able to rein that one in and keep hold of that one. Saying that as somebody who watched my team blow a 20-point lead in game 1, so that was a terrible loss on that one. But yeah, sometimes it does suck that Jason Tatum got hurt. I'm not the biggest Jason Tatum fan. We've had Jason Tatum talks on this show plenty. I don't have. He's not for me to watch, but he was playing great last night, and so seeing him go down was unfortunate. Yeah, Knicks and Pacers in the conference finals is absurd.
It is crazy.
WWE booked this nonsense.
Yeah, I was like, WWE is like, we lit, y'all, we lit, we called it. We said this is gonna be the next big feud in WWE. Now we can have it after the conference finals, and one of these teams is going to the NBA finals. What a yeah, because the Cavs are dead in the water too. So looks like we're getting Knicks and Pacers.
Another team that blew a big lead in game 2. The Cavs did. I know they had the injuries in game 2, but they were still up big in that game, and they blew the lead. The Timberwolves they've been the most fortunate team out of everybody because Steph got hurt. And once Steph got hurt, it's like, well, Warriors ain't really got a shot. The Warriors have been competitive the last 2 games, but they just don't have the juice without Steph. No. They don't have enough guys.
They don't have enough for 48 minutes, so it's a wrap for that. So yeah, it looks like we're getting Timberwolves in the conference finals. I'm hoping. It really feels like the Thunder and Nuggets are going. Well, they're at least going 6, but it feels like a 7-game series. But that's really the only competitive. Even though the games have been good, all the Knicks and Celtics games, it's been very entertaining to watch, and they've been decided in the fourth quarter. But yeah, when you lose your best player and you've been playing the way you have, and you blew 2 20-point leads on your home court, everything's working against y'all right now. Celtics, like, it's over. It's over for that. It's a wrap for that. So they're gonna lose. Knicks are going to the conference finals and have to listen to Knicks fans for the next 2 weeks. Oh God! Please, Pacers, please beat them, please.
Why are y'all saying Brunson and Halliburton at WrestleMania 42? It's gonna be SummerSlam if it's happening. Yeah. Let's not. WrestleMania is in the middle of the NBA season. They ain't doing a match in the middle of the NBA season. Halliburton.
SummerSlam makes more sense because it's in the New York City area, the shadow of New York City, as WWE always puts it.
It's in that area. But even if it wasn't even like, it could have been in Texas for all it mattered. Like, that's the spot to do it because it's after the season. That's how I still think. I'm sorry, King Potato. I still think that. But you weren't the only one. That's the only reason I said it. Like, multiple people said Halliburton and Brunson at WrestleMania 42. That I still think that, like, of all the things WCW did, which they did a lot of good and they did a lot of bad, one of the biggest coups they ever did was getting Rodman and Malone like a month after the NBA finals. Like getting them in a tag team match a month after the finals, kind of absurd to be able to pull that off. So if WWE can pull off Halliburton and Brunson a month or two after the Eastern Conference finals, that would be an absurd coup for them. Like that would be
It's probably
pretty big.
The greatest 3-year run of one individual show for WCW ever. Because 96 is considered one of their greatest shows ever, and it ends with the biggest heel turn ever of Hulk Hogan joining up with the NWO. Then the following year, they do the first Rodman tag team matchup with Hogan and Rodman versus Giant and Lex Luger, and that's coming off of of back-to-back championships for the Chicago Bulls with Rodman on the team. And then they followed that with the Rodman and Hogan versus DDP and Karl Malone in 1998. That's the greatest 3-year run of events for WCW ever.
Yeah. Bash at the Beach. Historic event. I will say no way the teams will let them wrestle in today's times. That's where it's maybe they won't, but in the summer, a little bit different. As well, again, I don't think it's ever happening in during the season. It wouldn't happen now, then, now, or forever. It just wouldn't. But in the summer, you kind of get a little bit more leeway out there, honestly. Yeah. I know it's not quite the same, but they're playing pickup basketball in the summer. You can get hurt just as easily in a pickup basketball game as you can. That's how Chet missed his entire first year, because he got hurt friggin' playing pickup basketball. You can get more hurt there than you can in a wrestling ring. It's not like they're going to go out there and do a bunch of crazy stuff. I mean,
it'll probably be a tag team matchup. They'll have
100%.
one or two. They'll have one or two spots in the ring, and they'll be a part of the finish. That's it. Yeah. That's all they'll do. So it wouldn't. And the babyface, if it's at SummerSlam, the babyface is obviously Jalen Brunson.
Yeah. Yeah, George Kittle did get yelled at for just doing a clothesline at WrestleMania. Teams are way, way protective of this stuff now. But look, man, stars run the NBA, and Halliburton's a star and Brunson's a star. If they're we want to do this, teams might just have to eat that. They got clauses in these contracts and everything. And all right, just be as safe as you can out there. So I don't know if it'll happen. I have severe doubts that it'll actually happen. But if WWE can somehow pull it, here's the thing. We know Halliburton wants to do it. He wanted to be in the Rumble this year, but that was a thing of the NBA, and the Pacers weren't going to really clear him to do. I think Brunson was working the hand injury when he got in the ring last year. He's looking at his hand and getting everybody freaking out over that. He's like, I'll just sell him, brother. And I think they want to do it. I don't know if they'll be able to pull it off, but I don't think it's going to be because they don't want to do it. It's just a matter of, the teams might shut that shit down. Tibbs is going to be fine, do this match, but you're playing 48 every game next season.
He's I want to make sure you're good. Fuck that. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens there. I'd be interesting, and it would fit the WWE Triple H's whole thing in 2025, which is hotshot booking and swerves to prop up his shitty booking abilities.
I'm gonna read the super chat because I don't quite understand it. Maybe you'll understand it. Sadly, a rough time for Wrestle Talk in the streets from Tenruza. Why is it a rough time for Wrestle Talk?
The only thing that I know about rough times is from the general fan base is people are upset that they're no longer doing an AEW Dynamite review, or they are covering AEW. They cover AEW news on their news videos, but they have stopped doing the AEW Dynamite podcast on Thursdays, and they stopped doing they didn't do this past Thursday. They didn't do a news video with AEW Dynamite in 5 minutes or less. So I know a lot of people were upset about that. So I think that's what he's referring to.
Oh, okay. Tenruza, if you want to clarify, you don't have to send more super chats. Although you're always very gracious with that, and we appreciate it. So, okay. Other people are saying, AEW stuff. We'll get into Raw here in a second. Some breaking news here from breaking like literally as we started the show.
I agree with Louisville, by the way.
Oh yeah, fair, true. I agree with that too. Breaking news to kind of kick off the show here. John Alba of the Takedown, Sports Illustrated. SB3 works there. Highly reputable outlet who has Becky Lynch as the greatest female superstar of all time, reporting that Joe Hendry, Moose, and the Nemeth, Nick Nemeth and Ryan Nemeth, will compete at TripleMania on June 15th. So TNA talent going to TripleMania. WWE talent's already going to be there as well. Garza and Angel were announced for that show. And now we're going to get WWE talent as well. Sorry, Berto and Angel. Garza is
Los Garza.
Los Garza, yes. Los Garza, Angel, and Berto have been announced for that show. That way I clean that up, chop it together, make a nice little short out of that.
And then Conan's going to be like, what comes around goes around. You see, we got top talent from WWE. We got top talent from TNA. Eat that, Tony.
Yes. So there you go. TNA talent coming to AAA. And yeah, we will see. I got to cover more AAA now moving forward. That's unfortunate. That's unfortunate.
More AAA in your life. We might do a watch along over on True Hill Heat. Knowing Romeo, he always loves to watch TripleMania just for the ridiculousness. We once had Larry Dallas on our watch along for TripleMania too.
They've always got like streaming issues and shit with those shows. Like every time I watch those shows, they're always just a mess. Absolute mess. Oh, we didn't talk about NBC loading up on NBA coverage. That news broke during yesterday's show with Joel, and we didn't really bring it up, but Michael Jordan's going to be part of the NBA on NBC coverage. Yeah. This is going to go one of two ways, right? It's either Jordan's going to be unfiltered. I guess it could go three ways, but the hope is it goes one of two ways. Jordan's going to be unfiltered and be like, this dude's trash, and what's he doing? Like, nah, you got a jab here, shoot that, reach, teach, all that. Or he's gonna like, which would be great because it's Jordan just like burying guys, and it's like, well, what are you gonna say? It's Michael fucking Jordan, like, you know.
That's the one I want. That's the choice I want.
Yeah, like what are we supposed to do? Or we're gonna get like him actually praising the game and the players and stuff, which I think would be good because now so much of the coverage is this is trash. Why are they shooting so many threes? Blah 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 blah. And so to hear Jordan say, oh, you know, like this is actually a good shot. The ball movement here is good. Look how he's locking down defensively here. Look how he uses his hands here. And that would be something different. I don't need like just generic stoic Michael Jordan. So Wayne Gretzky is on the NHL on TNT broadcast. Wayne Gretzky, greatest hockey player of all time. He's gotten better, but like those first few seasons, just the cliche talk. And it's like, it's Wayne Gretzky. So like you listen and like, it's cool, but you could put, Ryan said, Ryan knows, like you could put anybody out there and they could give the same opinion as Wayne Gretzky. You might not care about it as much because it's not Wayne Gretzky saying it, but he's not actually saying anything of value when he's speaking. And that's what I don't want from Jordan. I don't need just a bunch of cliches that you're Michael Jordan. You're the greatest player of all time. You are famously one of the biggest shit talkers of all time. Like go out there and like give some juice to these shows, give some entertainment to these shows. So how do you think it's going to go?
I want the first one, but I could see him giving like a mixture. I could see him giving more of like let me crap on this if this is not going well, but also kind of give praise and give some credibility to the current generation. I think that and the best version of Michael Jordan would be a medium of those first two options, something in the middle of both. But I'm interested. I think I'm gonna be watching more of the NBC coverage more than anything. Like was said in the chat, I think Jose said it. Jordan, Reggie Miller, I think he's always been great on commentating. I like Reggie. I like Reggie. I don't know about everybody else, but I like Reggie. And I want to see. I'm interested. I have a strange curiosity to see what Michael Jordan is going to say. So I'm looking forward to it.
Reggie can be hit and miss. I
like Reggie.
I mean, he mispronounces half the players' names, so that's a little upsetting. And he doesn't always feel like he knows what he's talking about on the broadcast. I'm not the biggest Reggie fan, honestly. Okay.
Hey, I'm not saying I'm a Reggie fan. I still remember that fight with Kobe, so I still hold that against him. But he is also a Nick killer, so it's like he evens out the playing field for me.
So Senior Nerd saying when Derek Jeter joined Fox, it didn't really make him be on Fox a lot more watchable. It's just, oh, cool, Derek Jeter. The same thing was with Tom Brady when he joined Fox. Like, It's just, all right, it's cool. It's Tom Brady. Like, I think at least for those first few, look, when Shaq joined inside the NBA, it wasn't good those first few seasons. I think people now look back and they're like, oh, it's always been great. I remember when Shaq first joined, I was like, man, this dynamic ain't working right now. And obviously now, like, it's super entertaining. Like, they bury the game, which maybe did better on, but it's still a super entertaining show. And it's still the most like revered studio show in basketball. But I think when these high profile players, and Derek Jeter, one of the greatest baseball players of all time, Tom Brady, greatest football player of all time, Michael Jordan, greatest basketball player of all time, when these high profile players like join these shows and they're not used to being in this spot, I feel like they get caught between who they want to be and who they think they should be. And for those first couple of seasons or certainly shows, they just don't know. Like they just can't figure it out. And then hopefully as they get more reps and they get more time and they start to discover, okay, what's working, then they start to settle in who they need to be. I thought Brady got better as the season went along, but for those first few weeks, it didn't help that he covered Dallas every single week. It's like, all right, we can only listen to Tom Brady talk about the Cowboys for so many times. It's not like this team's any good anyway.
I think with all analysts across all the sports, there's some growing pains in the first couple of seasons. I think that there's not. I think that's more of the exception to the rule than the rule. Yeah. I think a lot of them it takes some time. Like I would say, like in recent memory, like as far as NBA analysts, the last person that I remember just got to it and just was great at it is JJ Redick.
See, JJ Redick was able to jump right in. Tony Romo was someone who got praised immediately, and now he's become like. Now he's actually gotten worse because I think he's kind of took that praise. Greg Olson is a guy who like jumped right in and got it immediately with the NFL. I do think like role players have it just a little bit. And Greg Olson was a great tight end. JJ Redick was a great shooter, but in the grand scheme of things, role players, all things considered.
Yeah. And I think it's also like you can get the WWE color commentator syndrome where like I think like over the years WWE's had a couple of great color commentators that as the years go on they get gradually worse. Case in point, Pat McAfee on last night's Monday Night Raw. Oh my God, this was one of the worst commentating performance. He tried to be the main character of this whole entire. I hate him so much. I was annoyed watching In the Weeds yesterday when y'all were complimenting that goddamn matchup. I was like, what are we talking? They booked him like he's John Cena in 2010. But Yeah, I just hated that so much. But I think like with NBA and NHL and NFL, like sometimes you'll have the people that flow with it and get into it and are good at the start, but then as the years go on, they gradually get kind of like their enthusiasm, their love for the sport kind of gradually gets beaten out of them, it seems.
I think the best ones are the ones that like know they're finished with the game. So they don't feel the need to hold back as much. And granted, Reddick went back and ended up being a coach, but he was never a player again. But they don't feel the need to hold back as much because when Doc Rivers joined for half a season or whatever it was, before the Bucks brought him back, he was very much still acting like he was going to coach at some point. So he wasn't going to say anything that was going to get him in trouble from anybody. Van Gundy was like that for a while. And then it finally just became, oh, he's not actually going back. So he can say he feels more confident to say a little bit more. Obviously, Jordan's not going back. So maybe he'll be a GM or something, but he's not going back or anything. But I do think like for these great players, they don't always just want to put everything out there. It feels like they want to toe the line of who they think they should be and who they are and what's sort of expected of them. And it's like, you're the greatest of all time. Let's go out there and say whatever you want. Like I thought Brady's best stuff was when it was a Dallas game, I'm sure, because it's always a Dallas game. And some rookie like dropped the ball and Tom Brady is just like, I ain't throwing to him no more. Like, if that's my rookie, I ain't throwing to him. He's got to learn. Like, nah, you can't just drop the ball like that. This ain't a next play. Oh, don't worry about it. You got it next time. Nope. He ain't seeing the ball the rest of the game. I'm going with guys I can trust. It's like, yeah, fucking go after that guy, Tom. Like, that's the stuff that I want from Jordan. If somebody misses a shot, it's like, he ain't getting the ball the rest of the game. I ain't passing to him. That terrible last shot he took, no. I'm taking all the shots now.
This is why, if he was still with us, Kobe Bryant would have been the best analyst ever.
So here's the thing. Kobe was always very like good when it came to today's game. Like he actually liked today's game. And look, he still played against a lot of these players, honestly. Mm-hmm. And he was always very complimentary of like how the game was played and everything. Kobe would have loved Shea, by the way. Yes. Shea's modeled his game after Kobe anyway. Anybody who watches can see it. But yeah, I think Kobe would have been very complimentary and he would have been very good at like breaking down the game. I agree with you 100% that like Kobe's loss is obviously huge in many aspects, but I think one underrated part of his loss is that he would have been a guy who wouldn't have been like a Shaq or a Barkley or literally any other analyst out there right now or talking head out there right now that just craps on the game today and is like, this guy, let's talk about the bad plays everybody makes instead of the good plays that guys are making. Jordan or Kobe would have 100% talked about the good stuff more than the bad.
Yeah. We miss him in so many ways, even ways that we really didn't realize, but yeah, it's kind of a bad state for commentary and analyzing in sports in general and in pro wrestling as well.
We're scheduled to be joined by Myron here in like 7 minutes, so I don't think we should like jump really into Raw. That seems foolish to get right into Raw when Myron Reed is going to join us here in 7 minutes. We'll talk to Myron. We'll ask him his favorite basketball team, and then
of course
that'll steer a conversation one way. And if he doesn't have one, then we'll actually talk about wrestling. Unfortunate in that regards, but we'll talk to Myron about his return to MLW that happened this past week at MLW Azteca Lucha. He's a former 3-time MLW open weight champion, national
middleweight.
Middleweight. All right. They got those weird title names. I can't keep them straight.
I know. Middleweight
Right.
champion.
Yeah.
I think he left the company back in like 2023 and made his return on Saturday in Chicago. So yeah, it's gonna be a fun conversation. See what's his goals being back in MLW. What does he think about? He's also a kind of, I don't know if it's like official. We'll also have to ask him if it's unofficial or official. He's a member of the Rascals. I've always been told by every Rascals member that I talk to that he's like the unofficial member of the Rascals. So we'll talk about all the Rascal drama that's going on in the last year or so. We can talk about that as well.
He's also a new dad, so we can talk to him about fatherly things that are happening. So plenty to talk about with Myron. The most important thing will be we will get the scoop of Myron Reed's basketball team. That's all that matters. Speaking of scoops, I told y'all yesterday when Joel tried to pronounce Cora Jade, Elena Black's first independent show was going to be in July. I said, nah, that's not happening. That's not it. I said June 14th. That's the only date you need to know. June 14th. And then what happened shortly after our show went off the air, Black Label Pro announced Cora Jade for their June 14th event at Chicago. Or no, sorry, Crown Point, Indiana. And it's BLP Have You Heard? So Cora Jade will return to BLP on their June 14th.
She's been announced for three different shows. Yeah,
she's been announced for a bunch. And
her and Priscilla Kelly. Speaking of the Rascal, Priscilla Kelly is going to be facing her fiance Zachary Wentz at Wrestling Revolver, which is one of my low key favorite independent promotions.
It's a
Wrestling
good promotion.
Revolvers. Yeah, I really like it. And I like how passionate Sammy is about it whenever I talk to him. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that match also in June.
So more NBA news here, since that's all we're talking about today. Vince Carter will join NBC Sports as a studio analyst. So they've now added Vince to their team. So they got Jordan, Vince, and Mello on their broadcast team.
Okay, Mello might be good.
Melo's good. Melo's podcast.
I've seen clips. Yeah, of Melo's podcast because it has Kazim on there. So I've seen it. I've seen the clips of it. It looks like a fun time. And Melo's always been kind of like a guy that does watch the game and can give good analyzing of the game and different plays and style of play, especially what the NBA is today. So yeah, I like Melo as a choice. Vince Carter. Anytime I've seen him on like NBA TV and stuff, he hasn't really stood out. I'm like, yeah, this is Vince Carter, but I don't really get excited when Vince Carter. I get more excited when Tim Legler is on ESPN than when I see Vince Carter on NBA TV.
Jose's right. They do have Jamal Crawford as part of that show as well.
Ooh, my boy Jamal. Let's go. One of the best handles in NBA history.
I've seen some of Jamal on like podcasts. I can't say I've seen a bunch of Vince Carter, so I don't know how he's going to do in this regard. But I have seen Jamal Crawford's podcast, and like he does pretty well. And I do think Mello will be very good. Again, they have the name talent, clearly. Vince Carter, Carmelo Anthony, Michael Jordan, like three of the top names in NBA history, certainly over the last couple of decades. And Jordan. It's just a matter of just do something different. Like we saw what ESPN did. Kendrick Perkins sucks. He's awful. And Stephen A. Smith is he's not very good.
His former self.
Yeah. And all they do is they just bury everything. Like they
have not rebounded from losing JJ Redick. JJ Redick was holding that all together.
And JJ Redick was the one person
losing him.
Yeah, he would at least challenge and say nice things about things that were going on. But everybody else is just like, oh, let's talk shit about everything. And not even like in a conductive or producive way. Is producive a word? I think so. Not even in like a good way of like constructive criticism of things. It's just not, this is awful. This is terrible. What are they doing here? It's like, all right, do you have like a solution of what they can maybe do a little bit better? Do you have ways they could attack this a little bit better instead of just saying everything is awful? And it's just, I can do that. I do that all the time.
I do like Jay Williams. Jay Williams is probably the only person that I like from NBA coverage on ESPN.
Even he, the little I've
yeah,
seen.
I mean, I'm not saying he's the greatest. He's not on JJ Redick level, but he's the best one of a very. He's basically Allen Iverson on the 2001 Philadelphia 76ers. He's the only one propping this up. If we lose him, we got Pepe Sanchez to put in his place. Like, it's really bad. Like, if Jay Williams decides that he wants to do something else and he leaves, oh man, NBA coverage is in the dump on ESPN.
Man, I know Jordan got a crazy payday to come out of the shadows. Yeah, I do want, like, Jordan's listed as like a special contributor. I wonder like how much he's actually going to do. You got to put Jordan with someone who's going to like bring something out of him too. I saw somebody suggest like put him down with like Ahmad Rashad. It's like, oh yeah, that'll be good. Like Ahmad Rashad and Jordan have a long relationship, long history. And like he'll get something out of Jordan. Like you got to put Jordan in there with someone he's comfortable with and that can pull something out of him. Like you can't just throw to Jordan and be like, Mike, what'd you see on this play? And he's like trying to X's and O's, break it down. I don't know how well Jordan would actually do at that. But if you could do something with Ahmad Rashad or someone that Jordan is comfortable with, then you could probably pull some good stuff out of him.
Yeah, Ahmad Rashad would be good as like the lead anchor on like their pre-show, post-show format. I wonder in who they're going to get for play-by-play. That's going to be very crucial as well.
I think they've announced it. I'd have to see the full list of contributors because I'm not sure. I don't remember where it was. And maybe someone in the chat has it as well. But I feel like they've announced that part of the team.
I'll look it up.
Yeah,
in case.
Myron Reed scheduled to join us here shortly. We shall see, once he does. And otherwise, we'll actually jump into WWE Raw and talk about that show for some reason.
I actually liked last night's Monday Night Raw. I'm not gonna front. I think it was a good show. I saw some people saying it was the best show in recent memory. I'm like, wouldn't say all that, but Mike Tirico is the lead play-by-play commentator on NBA on NBC Sports.
There, all right. So we do have our guest. If he's ready, he can give me a thumbs up and we can bring him on. All right. He returned to MLW this past weekend at MLW as Tekalucha. He is a former 3-time MLW World Middleweight Champion. He is the young GOAT. He's Myron Reed. Myron, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. I'm trying to fix it. Hold on, let me fix this camera for you.
You're good.
Make sure.
There you go.
All right. Yes, sir. I'm doing good. How are you guys?
Doing well,
man.
Hell yeah.
So this is allegedly a wrestling show, but we've been talking a lot of other sports today. So we're going to try to get a scoop here out of you. Do you have a favorite basketball team?
Lakers.
Oh my God! Let's go! Let's go! You
Lakers
know
fine,
how
man.
it is.
I'm just playing. It's been a little rough, man, but I'm a diehard fan. I'm a loyal fan. I like the Lakers.
This guy over here
catching bullets. I've been catching. Where you been, Myron?
This guy over here is a Lakers fan as well. So
let's go. Let's go.
I've been burying him a little bit today. You guys have failed upwards the last.
Yeah.
They trying to blame us for Nico Harrison getting the #1 draft pick, Myron.
Look, it's been up and down for the Lakers this year, man. I don't know. I thought we were gonna get past the first round, but hey.
I'm a Thunder fan. I'm just miserable right now. Like we're still in it, but like I'm miserable until
they got one of the best players in the league on the team right now, man. Like
I agree. Alex Caruso's amazing.
Yeah.
I do agree.
Yeah, they do. Now I'm not talking about him, but like whatever.
I know. You returned to MLW this past week. How you feeling about the return, and what went into the decision to make the return to MLW?
Man, I feel like when they released me the first time, I felt like I didn't accomplish everything I needed to accomplish there. I felt like it was a lot of unfinished business and a lot of like big matches that didn't happen that people wanted to see. I felt like I didn't get to that point where I felt like I did enough. So, I just took some time, grew, became a better wrestler. And I'm like, all right, now's the time to strike. Now's the time to get back everything I said I would.
So what are your goals now that you're back in MLW? You've taken over the middleweight division, 3-time middleweight champion, one of the longest reigning of all time. What is your goals now? Is it get back to that middleweight championship, or are you looking for more gold?
Honestly, I feel like the first step for me is, all right, let's show them who the F you are. Like, okay, so let's get back. Let's show them the middleweight division and how it's ran and how it's supposed to be ran. And, you got guys like Quan and guys like Mystico, but like before them, it was the Young Goat. So I'm just reminding them. And then after that, we can go on and have the bigger matches that everyone wanted to see. But I'm here to do everything I didn't do the last time.
The middleweight title's vacant right now. Can you as a 3-time champion, and for my money, the most revered champion in MLW middleweight history, can you just like take the title? Be like, hey, this is mine?
Technically, no, because before I left, then I lost it. But like, people are doing that. I mean, look at Quan and Mystico. I mean, Quan's been running around with the belt and he hasn't rightfully won it. So I get it. Like, but I'd like to actually win it professionally, the right way. You know what I mean? Not just take the belt. I don't. It doesn't like, okay, like, did you really win it? It's like you're just stealing it. Like, it doesn't do anything for me. It doesn't.
But then when you defend it, then you have won it. But you might as well just like take it and just be the champion again
until somebody steps up, right?
Yeah.
Like, just take it and be the gatekeeper. That could work.
Just take it and then force people to come to you instead of waiting around. Of like, no, I'm not gonna wait around until you give me a title shot. I'm gonna take this, and if anybody wants to try to take it from me, come right at it.
Yeah, I mean that's a decent plan. That's a decent plan that you said it like that. I was just thinking traditionally, man. I'm gonna come in here, let them know I'm here, and challenge for the belt. He's like,
none of my ideas are traditional, Myron.
I love that. From your previous stint in MLW, what is kind of like your proudest work that you look back on from your previous stint? Because me personally, some of my favorite stuff from MLW that I ever watched was your rivalry with Lio Rush and the match that you guys had during the pandemic. That's like one of the favorite things that I've seen from Major League Wrestling. So for you personally, what was that for you?
Yeah, like you said, Leo was probably my favorite rival there. Just working with someone that that was better than me at the time, and I was able to grow and become the wrestler I am today. Like, it really helped me like build them building blocks to get to the point I am right now. Like, just the middleweight division, just being in there with different guys, being able to travel to Mexico, different places here in the United States, and just wrestle in front of different people. Like, it was honestly that was a big thing for me then, But now it's like, okay, I've done that. Now it's time to show these people I'm a star.
SB3 and I are both dads. So how's dad life been treating you?
Amazing. I'm loving it. It motivates me. It pushes me. And yeah, I think that's one of the reasons why I'm back. I'm like, I gotta show that you can't not finish your stories. You gotta do what you gotta do.
Hey, late nights.
So what has been I was about to ask that. What has been the toughest thing for you? And I was like, is it the late nights? What's been like the biggest kind of change that you've had to make?
I'm blessed, man. Like, we have like a schedule, so like I'll get the baby in the morning, and my lady will take care of the baby during the night, which I'm blessed. I get to sleep, so I'll wake up really early. I'm on grind mode really early, so I'll just take the baby with me early in the morning.
I respect that.
I'll let her rest. But yeah, it's been great.
Outside of MLW, you've been working a lot of the independent scene as well. Revolver champion SB3 and I talk about
Yeah.
Revolver a lot on the show and how it for our money, like one of the best independents out there. The passion Sami Callahan has like really comes across on the shows and then when he's speaking and everything. What's it been like just holding the Revolver championship and representing that company?
Amazing. Like, honestly, this run as champion has really like and man, shout out to Sammy because he's let me like be myself and do my own creative thing and gain that confidence that I need. Like, I feel like that's one of the big reasons that in like my decision in coming back to MLW because being the champion there, I've gained confidence and I'm like, man, there's a lot of stuff that I wish I could have done that I didn't do at MLW. So it definitely has a part in why I came back.
So I wanted to ask before you came on here, I was talking about kind of your status with one of the more like popular groups out there of the Rascals. Because I've had interviews in the past with like Trey Miguel where he says you're like the unofficial member of the Rascals. Then I've seen you on the independent scene where you ride with them and you're doing all these great tag team and trios matches with them. So what's your official status as of today with the Rascals? Are you official, unofficial member? Where are you at?
Man, honestly, I ain't gonna lie to you. I felt like that was kind of like a slap in the face because when the group was first made at CZW 2018, I believe, it was all four of us. And from that point on, that's where we all went our separate ways. And I wanted to prove myself. And they went their own way and they kind of like left me in the shadows. So no, I am not a rascal. I am the young goat.
There we go. Oh, so I was gonna ask kind of a follow up, like, what'd you make of all the Rascal kind of drama? As not a member, were you like, all right, good, these guys are getting what they deserve here?
Honestly, I watched it and I was just like, you guys seen that shit coming. Like you should have seen it coming, you know? You can't separate from someone that long and think that like, okay, I'm just gonna come back and everything's gonna be normal again. You guys left me and I'm sorry. I get it. I get where he's coming from. And I'm talking about Wes, but I get where he's coming from. I get it. Was it the right decision? No, maybe not on TV, like in front of everybody, but you gotta do what you gotta do sometimes.
So, like I said, you're back in MLW, and there's a lot going on. There's new players in the mix. What do you think about like the new landscape for MLW with Matt Riddle as the MLW heavyweight champion? You got guys like Donovan Dijak, Bishop Dyer showing up in MLW. So,
Yeah.
like, who are the guys that you see in the new landscape that you want to mix it up with?
Like you said, I mean, shit. I wanna get that title. Matt Riddle, like eventually that's the top of the list. Like right now it's just established, like you said, just show people who you are in the middleweight division. Then eventually I want to get to that point. And getting to that point, you gotta face some of the best in the world, like Donovan Donjak and freaking Matt Riddle. And you can't forget about Hammerstone. I mean, the Young Goats never went one-on-one with Hammerstone. Never like cross paths ever. Like, and that I was there for 4 years and he was there around the same time. So that'd be something that I think people will want to see.
You had a match with BDE, and for people who don't know BDE, he's a YouTuber,
Yeah.
and so like it was a great match, by the way. Like what goes into that? And I know BDE's like trained, he's done other matches as well, but like wrestling someone who kind of comes from that world, like what is that experience like going on from your side of things?
So I have to wrestle him this weekend. I was supposed to wrestle him in Chicago. He came out and he pretty much told everyone he wasn't medically cleared and stuff like that. And I beat him up afterwards. I came out and beat him up because I feel like he was kind of taking my own spotlight. But other than that, it's like you're facing someone that has established himself in another on another platform and another field, and it's like, okay, cool. Like I'm able to tap into my own self, and it's helped me be more creative and do different things and show them that like, hey, I'm not just one of the best in the world when it comes to being one of the best wrestlers in the world. I can do it all. Like so, I'm challenging myself, and it's fun. I'm gonna kick his ass this Sunday. So
And my apologies. I was, you're right. I saw the attack and I was
No, it
thinking
was a great
match.
beatdown, though. It was a great beatdown.
It was a great beatdown.
It was a great
Yes.
beatdown. Absolutely. Yeah, it was a long beatdown, too, so you probably thought it was a match, you know?
That's what yes. My memory is not good with this stuff, Myron. My memory is terrible. Everyone on the show will tell you I have the worst memory when it comes to this stuff. I can't remember what I had for breakfast, much less a wrestling thing that happens. So.
Yeah.
So you got everything going on in MLW, like you said before, you're Revolver champion. Is there anywhere else that you want to kind of go to that you haven't been in the past or you want to go back to? Because I know that MLW, they just recently had a tour in Mexico for CMLL and all the competitors got to compete in Arena Mexico. Is there kind of one of the places you want to go back to or go to for the first time, or is there anywhere else you want to go?
Yeah, so like you were saying, CMLL, like, I've never been there before. I've done AAA. I've been to Mexico and done AAA. I've done Crash. I definitely would like to try and do CMLL for sure. But right now, honestly, man, I'm really just working as hard as I possibly can. Like just trying to become the best wrestler, the best person, the best version of myself that I could possibly become. And then let everything fall into place from there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just keep working nonstop. Consistency.
People in the chat are asking about a potential Injustice reunion. I don't know if you still keep up with those guys or if that's a possibility at all, but I don't know. Thoughts on an Injustice reunion?
We're all three of us are very close still. Me and Jordan, we've done a lot of stuff outside of MLW since we had left. I would love for Jordan to come back and we can do some cool stuff together too. Like, it's been a while. People want to see it.
It was great to see Jordan back off of the injury at WrestleMania weekend. I know he had a long road coming back, so it was good to see him back. And I know you and Swan have you just wrestled recently, so I know there's at least some history there, some recent history.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you had anything to speak to.
No. I mean, you saw, like you said, you seen the match. Me and Swan, I literally beat him in 8 minutes. and then we're talking about Jordan, of course. That's my best friend, man. We traveled the road at MLW. Like, pretty much, we were the guys that people slept on, and you know, we had a chip on our shoulder and a lot to prove back then. And I feel like we the same now. Like, think about it. Like, I feel like me and Jordan are two of the guys that influence a lot of the guys today that are popping, that are like younger and stuff. You know what I mean? So like, we both feel like we need our opportunities and we need our shine, our flowers. So I'd be down for it. It'd be Injustice Part 2, take over again.
So we have a game that we play on this channel, and we're gonna get you out of here after this one. We appreciate you joining us the show here today.
I'm happy to be a part of this. Thanks for having me.
So it's called Partner Promo Punch in the Face. I'm gonna give you 3 names. Pick one to partner with, one to promo against, one to punch in the face. If you want to cut a promo on the person, if you actually like want to do a promo, you're more than welcome to on that one. I'm gonna go with 3 also middleweight champions, former middleweight champions.
Let's do it.
All right, so we're going to go MJF, the first ever middleweight champion. We're going to go with Mystico, the longest reigning, besides you, middleweight champion. And we're going to go with Shun Skywalker, the person who defeated you for your last reign as the middleweight champion.
Okay. All right. So it's partner, promo, punch in the face, right?
Yeah. Yep.
I think I punched Shun in the face. You know, he took the title from me. I didn't get no get back on that. You know, I want some revenge. I'd promo with MJF, man. I feel like it not only helped me, he's one of the best promos in the business. So I feel like that's a no-brainer. And then, you know, partner with Mystico.
MJF's gonna call you like young goat shit or something, and that'll be that.
Something ridiculous. He's gonna think of something though. I'll be ready.
I got an interesting one. Partner promo punch in the face. Since you told us you're a Laker fan, I'm going to give you 3 Laker duos to partner promo or punch in the face.
Oh,
Kareem and Magic, Kobe and Shaq, or LeBron and Luka.
okay. I'm punching LeBron and Luka in the face because they
haven't won anything. They haven't
Absolutely.
accomplished anything.
LeBron's one of my favorite players, but I'm punching him in the face right away off the top. Don't even got to think about it. After this year, punching him in the face. This is ridiculous. And then I'm partnering with Shaq and Kobe. And then the promo against Kareem, for sure. Yeah.
Kareem will probably curse, for sure.
Yeah.
Myron, we appreciate you joining us here this morning.
Absolutely.
Let everybody know where they can find you at and what you got coming up.
Yeah, man. So you can follow me on Twitter, The Bad Reed, or Instagram, reeds.world. And I'm on Facebook and stuff like that too. So, wherever you are, I'll be at. Just look me up. And I make music. I got music on the way, good music. And shit, man. More title defenses, more big stuff for the young goat. And that's pretty much it.
Tell us more about your music and some of your influences when it comes to that.
Yeah, so if you hear that fire ass song that you listen to when I come out, I made that. But that's like an entrance song. It's not real music. I feel like it's music, but it's not like the music you would hear on on streaming services or the radio or something like that. So I make all type of music, and you can look me up, Kid Reed. Music everywhere, and it's a lot of wrestling references and stuff like that in it too. It's lit.
Who's a better rapper, you or Leo Rush?
Me. Man, Leo's good. He's great. I love Leo. I look up to Leo. Leo's awesome. But me.
Okay, now we're gonna do battle rap, collaborate, or I'm trying to think of a third that works in the partner promo punch in the face sense, and I can't come up with something.
Say kill.
No, not kill. No, that's kind of the battle rap. That's kind of the battle rap sense. I was gonna say like release a single against or something. Okay. I was gonna say Leo, Swerve, and AJ Francis.
Oh my goodness. All right, so I'm gonna battle rap the battle rapper, AJ, of course. Okay. I'm gonna collab with Leo. No. I don't know. It's hard. Don't do me like this. I'll probably kill Swerve. I love Swerve. I'm gonna kill him. I gotta take you out. You gotta go. I want it. I want this spot.
I've been trying to battle rap AJ Francis for like a year now. He's ducking me, though. So at some point he'll stop ducking me.
Nah, that's funny. He's ducking you. He's hilarious.
He is. Everyone will tell you that he is. He has no idea who I am, but we're gonna pretend like he is.
I don't even know if he does it as much anymore, but he was.
From the little I've seen, and like he's released like kind of sort of diss promos. I would like kind of.
I love his work. That's why
he's
I
good.
Like. We have a song together. I have songs with all those guys. Like on my if you look up my streaming services, if people look it up, Kiri, you can see I have songs with all those guys. AJ Francis, Leo, Swerve, I made music with all of them, collaborated with all of them.
I think AJ, he actually is good. I don't want to give him flowers because he likes to be good. So
yeah.
So I don't want to actually.
Yeah, you got to do that sometimes. You think you're too good, can't tell him he's good. Can't tell him he's going.
Exactly.
Blow his head up a little. He already got a big head.
Myron, we appreciate you joining us, man. Sure. Good luck with everything moving forward, and anytime you want to come back, you're more than welcome to. And we appreciate it. Good luck with everything moving forward, man.
You got it. Appreciate you guys.
Thanks, Myron.
Next world middleweight champion.
There you go, and world champion as well, not just middleweight, world champion as well.
World champion on the way as well.
Yeah,
we got it. Coming for it all. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Myron Reed, everybody. Good chat with him. Can't believe he's a Lakers fan. Oh, God.
Everyone's a Lakers fan eventually.
Got off on the wrong foot immediately, him being a Lakers fan.
Put a smile on my face immediately.
I know. That was good.
He knows how it feels to be always attacked. We're always
attacked. Oh,
we're always to be a Lakers fan.
Yeah. Get out of here with that nonsense. Get out of here. WWE Raw last night. I know what the thumbnail is, but I'm not going with the thumbnail immediately. You know why, SP3? Because I'm gonna bury something real quick. You might appreciate this because I know you're Triple H's biggest fan, but I know you like when shots are taken at him. You know what? Besides the brawl, the pull apart brawls that he overuses completely. You know what my like annoyance with every single thing Triple H does now that he has to work in to like every single feud? The title glance. I'm so sick of the fucking title glance. Oh, we're gonna hold. Oh, she's looking at the title. What does that mean? Oh, Rhea Ripley has her eyes on the title. Like, no shit, she does. Randy Orton always side-eyeing the title. Oh, this person's side-eyeing the title. And then people take that as like, they're setting something up. Look at the callback. Let them cook with this. Everyone's got to just side-eye the title. Stop it. Knock it off with this side-eyeing of the title. I hate it. It's become so annoying to me that this is what they do. And then they either go to it down the line and they can point to, oh, see, they planted the seeds way back when, or they just forget about it completely. Because like, Randy was side-eyeing the title with Cody, and we never got anything from that. Cena won the title, and then he's going after Cena. I hate it. Can't stand it. When Raw ended and Rhea's like, just the title, get out of here with this.
See, that pissed you off. The whole result pissed me off. Because what are we doing?
Yeah.
What are we doing? Like, can Roxanne and Julia actually win on the main roster? I don't know, because I haven't seen it yet. And like, it's just like so mind-numbing. And it ruined for me otherwise a great main event. It was a great main event, but the most logical thing you could have done is to have a miscommunication and them bumping into each other was for Io and Rhea, not for Roxanne and Julia. And then you release a freaking social media post at nearly midnight. At midnight in the evening, so you miss all the news run for everybody who doesn't stay up that late, where Roxanne and Julia be like, nope, we're no longer an alliance. So you did a 4-week alliance between them, and that's it? When will people just understand to me? Triple H sucks at this. Like, why am I the only one that's been saying this for like a year now? He really is really bad. Like, he's not even, like, before I would like, oh, at least he's better than Vince. But we've been riding that train for like 3 years now. We need to understand this man is awful at this shit. He's awful, but somehow his father-in-law was worse. That's what we should be saying. He is not good. Like, they just screw shaking things up and putting new people into that top mix. No, we did a whole 4-week program with Roxanne and Julia to set up another Rhea Ripley versus Io Sky matchup that's probably going to be at Money in the Bank, meaning that we will have 4 different times this year since March 1st. We're going to have 4 different matches with Io and Rhea. And yes, Io and Rhea every time out, at least have a good match. They've had a match of the year candidate would be Uncle Belair at WrestleMania, but I don't need to see it 4 fucking times.
I'm completely with you. When I saw that finish, I was like, why aren't Julia and Roxanne winning? Like, feels like you should give the new women coming up here like a big victory over some established talent and move forward with that. Rhea's fine. She ain't losing her spot. Io's the champion.
Nothing.
She's fine.
Nothing by losing. Neither one of them lose anything.
These two were, look, I don't think the Roxanne Julia alliance made a ton of sense because we just saw them feuding in NXT anyway. So why were they called up together in this spot? Don't know. Just reasons. There was no real explanation for it, except they just both were on Raw. And then, as you mentioned, they did this social media thing where they now have split, apparently. But we just saw Rhea and Io feuding as well. They just had a WrestleMania match. Why are they all of a sudden? I hate. And Roxanne and Julia are not an established tag team. So I completely understand why they didn't go with this for this match, even though I would have had Roxanne and Julia win. I do hate the thrown together tag team, the Can They Coexist tag team, beating an established tag team. It's like, all right, why? These two have been together for years. Not in this case. Again, please do not take, as I'm saying, this case. And then you're putting together two people who are feuding against each other, but all of a sudden they can win this tag. No, there should be a miscommunication where they don't win this tag team match, because they are not tag team wrestlers. They are not people who get along. They should lose this match. I thought this would have been, like you said, a great opportunity to have a miscommunication between Rhea and Io and get a good victory for Roxanne and Julia and actually establish them. If you're going to put them together, establish them as a threat, establish them as a tag team threat, because your tag team division sucks right now. Instead, they beat them and then split them after a few week alliance that didn't make sense in the first place. What was the purpose?
And I think was it Canadian saying that they're still still calling them NXT superstars.
Yeah.
Yo, Roxanne's been on the main roster since like February, guys. She set the record for the longest duration in the Royal Rumble. That should be your call up. Like, them waiting for a draft to make it official is the stupidest shit ever. It's stupid. It's stupid WWE nonsense. I don't like it. Didn't like the result. Loved the match, but the result just irritated me by the end of the show. Like, I had Jimmy McElroy messaging me late night, like, oh, I love this show outside of like the War Raiders. And I was like, I can't really say I love this show. Can't really say I hated this show. I loved certain parts of it. I love the main event match. I don't love the result. Like, that shit pissed me off. And it just left me with an overwhelming feeling of, this was about the same quality as last week. It wasn't the best episode of Raw, but it was a good episode of Raw. It just, if you fix a couple of things and you have Julia and Roxanne win this one, I think I would be like, yeah, this was a great episode of Monday Night Raw, because there wasn't anything objectively bad outside of, like, the tag team division doesn't matter at all. It feels overwhelmingly unimportant, similar to the women's tag team division. But the men's tag team division just feels overwhelmingly unimportant. And my God, Pat McAfee he's all time. Like I said he's one of the worst announcers of the modern era. I think I was undercutting him. I apologize, Pat McAfee. You're one of the worst commentators ever. This dude grandstand the fuck out of Penta and Chad Gable. I watched the ad breaks because I don't get ad breaks here in Europe. So I got to see the entrance for Chad Gable. But when the bell didn't ring immediately after the ad break was over, I was like, what's going on? And then Pat McAfee, who was supposedly brutally beaten down by Gunther for 14 minutes. I had everybody being like, oh, this was a really good matchup. You know, Pat McAfee really put him over. He took only 10% of the matchup. Gunther was never in danger. Yeah, that's all fine and dandy. Why did he need to not tap out of the sleeper? Why did he need to last longer in the sleeper than Gunther did at WrestleMania? He is an announcer. This is his 8th career matchup. And then he comes out here, not in a wheelchair, not with no bandages. The only mark he had to pull down his shirt to show us any type of damage that he suffered. We wouldn't have even noticed the blood vessel popping in his eye unless they did a full-on close-up on his ass. But he comes down to the ring. He's like, hey, guys. Hey. I'm the main character. I'm Pat McAfee. If I want to see Pat McAfee be the main character, I would watch his stupid ass show with his dumb ass frat friends making illiterate jokes for fucking 90 minutes. I don't want to see this shit. Get him the fuck off my TV. Where's Wade Barrett? Wait, we need you on Mondays. This dude, oh my God. The shit he did during the Sabu tribute, that should get him fired automatically. Why, when Michael Cole has a somber voice talking about the life and times of Sabu, this motherfucker wants to talk about the Trampoline Wrestling Association? Get the fuck out of here! Get the fuck out of here, yo! I am so annoyed by this person. I am so annoyed.
Are you okay?
14-minute match! 14-minute match with Gunther! Gunther didn't do anything that didn't benefit Gunther at all! And then he comes out here, no selling the shit out of all of it! And then he grandstand a Sabu tribute segment! Oh my God!
Are you good?
I'm fine.
I think you gotta like watch Raw on mute or something.
I do at this point. I do that shit, yo. When he talked about the Trampoline Wrestling Association, we got highlights of Sabu. We got highlights of Sabu on the screen. Yo. No, the reason why I just had to go nuclear, because not enough people mentioned that. Not enough people were complaining about that. This man grandstand someone passing away. I have to bring out all the passion for all the people that didn't want to say anything to that are still trying to praise his god-awful 14-minute matchup where he was booked like John Cena in the mid-2010s.
He's not been good. I feel like I've tuned him out so much. I've tuned out so much commentary over the years that like people say like the AEW commentators are bad. I was like, I couldn't tell you if they're good or bad. I barely listen to them. Like I barely listen to the WWE commentary. I so auto-tune with that stuff. But I can recognize that McAfee has certainly made it way too much about himself since returning. And last night he was at his worst when it came to making it about himself. I was like, dude, okay, we get it. Gunther showed you respect. You had a match. This is not about you. This is not about you and getting your jokes off and telling us how great you are and how tough you are and your history and everything. Leave that stuff for your promos. Your promos are good. Leave that stuff for that. I don't need it during this. Just stop.
During someone's tribute segment. Like, that was a new low. That was egregious. Oh my God. Like, it was one thing to grandstand Penta and Chad Gable. I could get over that because the match was just good. It wasn't as great as Penta's debut matchup. But that Sabu tribute segment, like, I was like, no, did he really just do this? Did he really just, like, take over? As like Michael Cole is going through like the career highlights of Sabu, and he just like totally grandstand and wanted to talk about himself. Wow.
Gunther is going to be challenging for the world title the night after Money in the Bank against Jey Uso or Logan Paul. We shall see who the champion is at that point. It theoretically could be someone else if they have to defend it at Money in the Bank, or there's a cash in at Money in the Bank. What'd you make of this promo and them setting up the match for nearly a month from now?
Yeah, I was like, when Gunther came out, I was like, okay, so he's probably the Money in the Bank challenger for Jey Uso. I don't know why you want to set that up 2 weeks before Jay's next title defense. Why do we need this segment? And wouldn't it make more sense to not telegraph that Jay's going to win the matchup against Logan Paul? Like have Logan Paul come out here and then Gunther interrupts the both of y'all and says that he has the winner at June 9th or Money in the Bank. I think that would have made more sense to not telegraph the fact that Jey Uso is going to win a matchup that we all knew he was going to win, and you just basically just confirmed that he's going to win that matchup by having Gunther come out and interrupt him. So hey, I would have done that differently, but I am interested in the fact that it is on June 9th because that makes me feel like they might have the Money in the Bank holder cash in on that show. Because what WWE has made a theme and a consistent kind of thing with the Money in the Bank over the last couple of years, especially under Triple H, is that one of these people is going to give up this briefcase within a month. We can't have two Money in the Bank holders for multiple months.
Yeah, they love doing the quick cash in for one of them. You're right that one's got to go quickly, and then the other one's going to hold it for until the new year, typically, and then that's how it's going to go. They're definitely going to tease it, the potential cash in. It obviously depends on like who wins it. There's some options, I don't know if Jacob Fatu is going to be in it because he's the U.S. champion. He's certainly an option. LA Knight is an option.
I think Seth's going to be in the Money in the Bank at this point because he's the other like main challenger that we don't know when he's coming back into play.
Seth winning that and then basically doing Heist of the Century on the Raw after Money in the Bank to get the title would make a lot of sense because he probably needs the world title at this point to further what they are doing with him. The last couple of weeks have felt like misses to me with this group.
I liked last night only because now it feels like the main event scene is interconnected. Because you have Gunther, who's positioned as the next challenger after Logan Paul, who's the official next challenger. So those are the next two challengers. But you also have Seth, who technically won last week against Jay by disqualification, who was cost by CM Punk. They came out to get some revenge on CM Punk, and then Sami Zayn came out, and then Jey Uso came out. So we have the World Heavyweight Champion in the mix in the main event scene. So I like how they've kind of bolstered up the main event scene, where the first week that they did the whole angle with Seth and Braun and Heyman and Roman and Punk, it felt like Jay was over here. The first 2 weeks, they felt like Jay was over here. He's still celebrating the World Heavyweight Championship win on the Raw after WrestleMania. And then the following week, he has his own interaction and the start of the rivalry with Logan Paul, which felt very mid-card. And now he's in the mix again over the last 2 weeks. So I like the opening segment. I thought it had a sense of urgency that not a lot of opening segments has had, especially with Sammy and Jay making the save for Punk without their music hitting, like them just coming out here. That added some stakes to everything that was going on. And Seth and Braun felt like an actual heel faction along with Heyman, who is just so great. He doesn't even need to say a word, and he was probably the best performer out of his stable. But I liked Seth's delivery of the promo last night, calling CM Punk a gaslighter, even though Seth is not technically a heel when what he was saying, because what he was saying was actually true. Because CM Punk is a gaslighter. He is definitely gaslighting Paul Heyman, because you did put Paul Heyman in a compromising position. Like, CM Punk has no type of accountability for, like, he said, "Oh, I'm pissed at myself," but he doesn't want to take a guy. He says, "I'm pissed at myself because I should have seen this coming," instead of saying, "I did put Paul in this position to have to make this type of decision. That's why I'm pissed off of myself. But I'm also pissed off because I thought that we had made bygones be bygones. And after he betrayed me back in 2013, I thought that we had gone over a new leaf. I thought we had recovered." If he had made it kind of reconstructed the promo in a certain way, I think that he would be more of a babyface in this situation. But everything that Seth said about him being a gaslighter, I was like, he has a point. He has a point.
I think what I want to see out of the Braun, Heyman, Seth group is another strong like beatdown of things. I think that's where I'm a little not out, but the last couple of weeks, like the babyface has got the numbers advantage right now.
True.
Like it's been Jay, Sammy, and Punk, and they've been kind of standing tall in these segments. And Heyman's promo work has been great. Punk's promo work was great on Monday, but they don't feel like this threat that they felt like after the first couple of weeks where they took out Roman and Punk, and then they took out Sammy. Like they really felt like threats then. But now, because the babyfaces have advantage, they're not feeling quite as big to me as they were the first couple of weeks. Either have them beat down the babyfaces despite the disadvantage, which in the best optics, really. But like if you got chairs, I mean the babyfaces are the ones using the chairs to run them off. Like I just want to see them have another strong. I think that's basically where I'm at with them. Is they've looked a little cowardly the past couple of weeks. And I don't think this group should be looking cowardly. Like I would like to see them look a little bit stronger. And I don't know if you need to add.
I think they do need to add. If they're going against 3 baby faces, then they probably should add more numbers to their rings.
Yeah. Like I think an addition would be good, especially if they are going against 3 people like they are right now. You know who that is. We shall see. Whether it's 1 addition, whether it's 2 additions, so they have the numbers. The bloodline, I mean, say what you will about them and the fact that it may have gone on too long and everything. You always knew where they stood as far as the hierarchy goes, though, because Roman was on top and they always had the numbers. No matter what, they had the numbers. And then finally at WrestleMania, they didn't have the numbers because you had Cena and Undertaker and everybody and Kevin and Sammy and whoever. Like they didn't have the numbers finally on that one. But that's what made them like as reviled as they were for that time. Is like you knew that they were the top heel group because they were just always going to be one step ahead of you, whether it was Heyman pulling strings, Roman being smarter than everybody, or just the numbers advantage. Like that's just basic booking 101, right? Like heels have numbers. That's what you do. And then baby faces overcome those numbers. And right now, it's not that. The baby faces have the numbers, and we're waiting on the heels to somehow overcome that. And I don't think it makes like Seth and Braun look as strong. Like Braun, I'm fine if Braun's wiping out dudes on his own. Like put that dude over as a killer. I like last night when he slides in the ring and goes after Punk, and Punk like I was like, Punk's takedown defense ain't that good. Come on now. I don't buy that CM Punk is staying on his feet against Braun Breaker. I've seen what this dude can do. Braun Breaker was an amateur wrestler. I know he's taking that guy down immediately. Come on now.
Yeah, so, the brawling in that opening segment was really sloppy, to be fair. I just like the connecting storylines and the connecting characters in the main event scene. Also, there's a lot of that connecting in the mid card with Penta kind of feuding with El Grande Americano and Chad Gable and the Judgment Day, who are also feuding with AJ Styles. Thus, we have the Styles and Penta versus the Judgment Day next week. I like how that is all connecting and stuff. So it gives it kind of like. It feels more multi-dimensional in the storytelling and the options that you can go, directions where you can't predict where all of this stuff is going to lead to. So I do like that type of stuff. And I think that's why overall I thought it was a good show, because there was more than one good segment. And we haven't even mentioned the best segment of the show, but we'll get to that.
Trying to think what you think the best segment of the show was.
What did you think was the best segment of the show?
I don't remember this show, honestly.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. It was the GOAT, Rebecca Quinn.
Oh, okay.
Becky Lynch. It's always Becky Lynch. It always is Becky Lynch. See, I had to even quote her. I quoted her on my Lakers promo that I did earlier in the show because that promo she did was an absolute masterclass. It was a masterclass in manipulation. It was a masterclass in using real life discourse and using it to elevate your character and to give your character some motivation about being against the fans. Like, I'm like, yo, Seth, the last 2 weeks, you should be watching your wife on how to be a heel. Like, her whole delivery is just so well done. Her using the whole backlash and resentment that she got for the WWE Women's World Championship win last year is why she had to take a step back. She had to take a step away because, you know, these fans were behind her the whole way when she was going to the main event of WrestleMania. But what happened? What changed all of that? She won, and they couldn't relate to her after that because they're not used to success. They're not used to rooting for success like she is. So once she realized that winning was not an option and that the fans would resent her for that, she had to take a step back. She had to take a step away. So that's why she's like, screw all of that. If y'all think I'm selfish, I'm buying into all the narratives. I will be that. I will hold down every single woman, and I will be the man. I will be the GOAT. God bless Becky Lynch. She's just so good. She's so good. The people that said Becky Lynch is not a good to great promo, man, they got to eat crow after that one. That promo last night was fantastic.
It was a fantastic promo. People who say Becky isn't a good promo, I think just aren't paying attention. Like, I think they just have already made up their mind that she's not a good promo. And so whatever she says, they're just like, no, it wasn't good. It's like, nah, it was really good. It actually was really good.
It's like a level above every other woman on the roster. I like Charlotte Flair, but she can't cut a promo like that. Rhea Ripley is the biggest star of any woman on the WWE roster, but she can't cut a promo like that. Like, what are we talking about?
The problem with every other woman on the roster, at least the majority of them, Naomi's been doing some great work, by the way. The problem with everyone else is they rely so much on the catchphrases. And Tiffany cut some good stuff in NXT, and now I don't think she said any words outside of what time is it Tiffy time. I don't know if she's had any other dialogue. But Becky can rely on like the man comes around stuff to start, but then she actually like gets into it and it becomes great. Everyone else just relies too much on just the catchphrase. And it's like, gotta have a little bit more than that. No, Becky's a great promo. And I think people knock her for when I'm pretty sure she is just, I mean, she admitted the NXT promo where she was like just popping her daughter in the back because she was referencing like a book they had just read or whatever. And I swear she was referencing Seth not taking out the garbage when she was talking about taking out the garbage.
That was a great promo. She's so good. She's so good. Oh man. And she mentioned me in Variety this weekend. So
she did. I saw that in the interview. Yes. I think Becky is a fantastic promo, and last night was another good one. So yeah, I swear she just puts in references to pop herself, which look, more power to her. I love that shit. I do that all the time on this show. So I respect anyone who's just gonna work in pop yourself references to your wrestling promo, as long as it's still cohesive and it works. And she does a good job of that.
She does it so well. That's how you use real life discourse, real life fan conversation, and you use it to make your character more multi-dimensional, have more layers to your character, and also parlay that into the whole Lyra Valkyria rivalry and how Lyra was one of the people that started to resent her as well, someone that she had all these hopes for, but now she's turned against her as well. So I love how she was able to elevate her character. She elevated the feud with Lyra, and she gave herself basically like a mission statement of why she needs to win the Women's Intercontinental Championship. This whole rivalry between the match, between the promos the last couple of weeks, is really making the Women's Intercontinental Championship feel like an actual prize again.
Yeah. And Becky always does that. She always elevates everything she's actually given. Like because she is such a big star, like that helps, right? Like it's Becky Lynch. She's one of, if not the most decorated. It's her and Charlotte when it comes to most decorated females in company history. So anything she's involved in is going to feel like a big deal. And she takes it even further than that because she's just great at elevating what she's given.
So yeah, that was by far my favorite segment.
AJ Styles and Finn Balor had a match.
Good. It was good. Yeah, it was good. The crowd didn't care. That crowd.
I was about to say, all right,
that crowd sucked last night.
Thank you. I'm glad it wasn't just me because like I'm watching it and I'm like, I feel like this is good, but this crowd ain't giving them nothing. Like absolutely nothing. So yeah. It was good, but yeah, the crowd all night was a little rough. And
yeah. I think that's another reason why I just like felt like the Penta and Chad Gable. That didn't move me. I was like, I remember earlier this year, I was saying that matchup, the first match they had for Penta's debut was one of the best WWE TV matches of the year, and then they went out there and they had another good match, but it just didn't have the same feeling because that crowd last night just was not good. They were trying to what Becky Lynch. So Becky Lynch is such a pro. She had to change the cadence of what she was saying after that. So yeah, they kind of suck. They kind of sucked last night.
Yeah. Anything else from Raw? Roxanne Perez talking to Finn Balor. They'll definitely do something with that.
Yeah. Maybe they have Roxanne try to usurp Liv in the Judgment Day.
Maybe. Wait, didn't Finn want Liv in Judgment Day?
Yes, he did.
So now that she's there, why does I'm talking about the character of Finn Balor? I want to make that very clear. Oh, guys, I knocked my coffee cup. I want to make that very clear. Does Finn hate women? Does he just hate strong, powerful women? Like, oh, Rhea Ripley's getting too powerful here. She's the champion. She's acting like she's the leader. Oh, Dom, does he live over there? Let me take that key card.
Mm-hmm.
And let me give you the key card back. Oh, I'm talking to Liv, but wait, I'm not really talking to Liv. Dom's talking about, oh, Liv's here. Oh, we love, but now Liv is powerful. Now Liv is kind of controlling. Oh, I don't really like that. Roxanne? Maybe we can bring Roxanne in. Am I misreading this whole thing?
Does seem like he be homie hopping. He homie hopping out here.
He just doesn't like strong, powerful women. He just keeps trying to push him out.
Well, to be fair, Dom doesn't know what time zones are, so
neither do I.
No.
Time zones are stupid. They're so dumb. I'm with Dom. I'm with him.
What can you do?
It's all the same Earth, SP3. Why is there different times?
Well, you need to see how the sun works. The sun's over here.
I know. I'm not a flat earther or anything. God forbid that gets out there. For those that don't get the reference, spend way too much time on social media. And there is someone who said that. Someone who said, it's all the same Earth. Like, okay, buddy. Okay. Do you not get how it works. Yes, Will got it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I do think time zones are dumb, like legitimately though. Like I get they're like a thing. I hate them. I absolutely hate them. Like it's so stupid. And I really don't like daylight savings times and fall forward and or spring forward, fall back, all that dumb shit. I think that's all stupid as hell too. I hate it.
It's kind of goofy. It's kind of goofy. But yeah, that's most of what happened on Raw last night. I'll talk more about that over on True Hill Heat, going live early, an hour early. So we'll finish up here in a bit so I can jump over there. The only other thing that we need to mention that's in the description is NJPW Resurgence and Best of Super Juniors. You guys didn't talk about. I did hear you guys talk about the main event of Resurgence, though.
Yes, where Mercedes Moné decided she was not taking the pinfall, but she lost the title.
Hey, great match though. I like Azumi. I like Azumi picking up the victory. It was a surprise result in my opinion. And we got Azumi and Mina Shirakawa are filling the 2 spots in the AEW Women's World Title Eliminator 4-way on Wednesday at Beach Break against Timeless Toni Storm and Sky Blue. So like me, Azumi, who found Toni Storm's working boost last year, she's going to put in some more work on Dynamite this time. I think this is going to be her first match actually on Dynamite. I think the last time she was on Collision. So that's going to be good. Other than that, for Resurgence, Good Brothers being back, that was fun with the Young Bucks. I'm interested to see what else the Good Brothers do in NJPW, because that just feels like right. More than anything, more than their time in TNA, more than their time in WWE. Good Brothers in New Japan Pro Wrestling always just feels right, especially with the commentator, with the announcer saying "Machine Gun," Carl Anderson. It's all that always pops me. So, B Priestley showing up on the pre-show, that was a nice surprise. It made me actually turn for pretty much WWE or New Japan. I don't watch the pre-show because nothing really important ever really happens. So that made me put it on early. The double pin for Zach and Goto was interesting. I did not expect that. I did not expect Zach and Goto to go to a double pinfall finish, but they weren't going to do 60 minutes. So that made sense if they were going to do a draw in that way. Takeshita and ELP was fantastic.
Cowardly that they're not doing a triple threat with Goto, Shingo, and Zach.
It's
Cowardly.
New Japan.
I know.
Unless Kenny Omega convinces Gato to do it, they don't do a triple threat
for the
IWGP title.
I know they don't do it. That's why it's cowardly, though. You do it like once every 5 years. It'll be okay if you do one. Cowardly.
I wanted Goto versus Shingo anyway, so I'm not complaining. I wanted them to go one-on-one because I feel like that could be, and Goto's had a great reign, but I think that could be his best matchup of his reign against Shingo. This is a battle of the 2 greatest IWGP World Heavyweight Champions of all time. So I'm looking forward to that at Dominion. And Takeshita and ELP was great. Just take Rocky Marrero the hell away from Takeshita. I do not need him pulling out the referee to save Takeshita. Why does Takeshita need to get saved? Disrespectful to the best in-ring wrestler in the world today.
I'm with you.
So that was Resurgence. Best of Super Juniors, first weekend, a lot of good matches. My favorite, probably Despy versus Teton. I love that match. I loved Fujita versus Akira on night 1. Night 2, my boys, 2 people that I've interviewed this year, Jeremy, Ninja Mac and Robbie X becoming absolute stars with the spot of the tournament. It's been a while. I think this is the most viral moment in Best of Super Juniors since Osprey and Ricochet. It's on ESPN and stuff.
Like
I'm
20
so
million
happy.
Views on ESPN.
So happy for Ninja Mac. He was so nice when I got to talk to him, and he promoted the interview so well as well. So
He's a good
he
dude.
told me told me about his Circus Olay blast and being in the circus and stuff. So seeing that spot, oh my God, I was so happy for him. And the finish, not enough people are talking about the finish. Go out of your way. If you just seen that clip, go out of your way to watch the match and that finish where Robbie X tries to do a backflip and he catches him with like a Trouble in Paradise and then just pins him with his feet. Oh my God, I love these two guys. I said at the beginning of the tournament on our preview on True Hill Heat, I was like, this is the match that we all want to see for Ninja Mac and Robbie X. I was like, this is flips on flips. No fists, just flips.
Why didn't Robbie X like go off to the side on the back?
He should have.
Why was so going straight?
He was so confused. He was like, how is he still going? It's like a car coming and you don't know how to move. You're like stunned.
Yeah. Why didn't he just go to the side and then he just sort of backflipped all the way to the back? That's what I want to see. What would happen if he just kept backflipping? Would he eventually like hit somebody? He would have just hit the top of the ramp. He would have hit the entranceway. Yeah. Probably actually moved. He should have pulled somebody in his place. That would have been a good spot as well. He just pulls somebody out back. There was plenty of space to go to the side. You see that ramp? There was space. Don't give me enough space.
Not enough space. He was stunned. He was stunned and in disbelief. He was like, "What is going on?"
So I do buy that, by the way. That's 100% how I viewed it. It's like, oh, he is so shook that this pen is still going that he just is frozen and doesn't know what to do at this point. So that's why he got hit. Like, I completely buy that explanation. But he still should have just moved to the side. There you go. New Japan Resurgence and New Japan Best of Super Juniors. The first two nights that continues until the early June.
Yeah, June 1st, I believe, is the final. Tomorrow's a huge show. Kurgan Hall. I think they got 10 matches. All the block match. It's going to be all block matches night. It's going to be headlined by Kosei Fujita versus Hiromu Takahashi, which should be one of the best matches of the tournament. And it's a battle of Yo versus Sho. We're finally going to get it after the injury to Yo last year. Yo versus Sho tomorrow.
That was cool like 5 years ago.
It was. But I'm gonna hold out hope. Sho has something in him. I'm gonna hold out hope.
Okay. All right.
And I think it's Despy versus Nick Wayne, which should be really good too.
Okay. All right. NXT is tonight. Trick Williams and Joe Hendry are gonna sign a contract. I'm sure nothing bad will happen out of that. Obafemi will be facing Charlie Dempsey, and Tony D'Angelo and Wesley are the other matches announced so far. Anything you're looking forward to with NXT?
I'm looking forward to Charlie Dempsey and Obafemi. Obafemi always does well when he's facing one of the better in-ring workers in the NXT brand. So I'm looking forward to that. That should be good.
All right. NXT's tonight. We'll talk about it and more tomorrow. Tomorrow we are scheduled to be joined by Steve Macklin. He's supposed to join us at 10:30 tomorrow. I don't know what we're going to talk about. There's an interview up now on the main Fightful channel with Steve Macklin. So that covers a lot. We're going to talk basketball with Steve Macklin. Could you imagine how that's going to go? I don't know if Macklin likes basketball at all. We'll find out, won't we? We'll see. I'm going to pitch him all of my Ring of Hallucination ideas. That's what I'm going to end up doing.
I love that.
Deanna's going to be one of my aces, so you should appreciate that. Yeah.
Nice.
All right, everybody. Nice. SP3, let them know where they can find you at.
Find me on the Twitter machine at TrueHillSP3. I'm going live in like 2 minutes over on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel for Rated Raw Review. I think Top Guy JJ will be joining me. He just messaged me saying just started itself. Oh, so that means his laptop just started itself. So he'll be on shortly after I get things started. But join us live over there. We'll be talking about Monday Night Raw from last night more in depth. I'll be live on Wednesday on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel for Dark Side of the Ring review. We're reviewing last week's show because we didn't do it last week. So we'll be doing Billy Jack Haynes on Wednesday. And we'll also be doing Power Book 3 Raising Canaan review on the True Hill Heat Sports and Entertainment YouTube channel. And then, of course, I'll be back here on Thursday at 10 a.m. Eastern with Jeremy.
Folks, again, we'll be back tomorrow. Myself and Joel Pearl will be here. We'll see what kind of mood I'm in after the Thunder game, whether it's misery, pre-misery, post-misery. We shall see. It's going to be misery, regardless. We can win.
Misery.
It's still going to be misery. That's the only mode I have. All misery all the time. Appreciate Myron Reed for joining us today. Everyone, check out that interview. If you missed it earlier, it'll be up on the site as a standalone. Yeah, probably this weekend, honestly. And there's probably put that up this weekend. Till then, everybody, thanks you for leaving a thumbs up on the video. Appreciate the super chat. Appreciate just hanging out in the chat. SP3, appreciate you as always. We'll be back tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern in the weeds. Bye, everybody.